Hey guys, welcome back to Some Crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at BTC on the macro view and what type of price action we could anticipate over the next like a few weeks, few months, and so on, right? So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description, and all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and dive into the analysis, right? So we're going to start off with the quarterly time frame, right? So we know the quarterly time frame it is quite important. And back in December and all that good stuff, what we said was like we just didn't want to close below the 44k, right? 44k region. Even though I was saying like we're going to be dropping down to our monthly 21 EMA and all that good stuff. We will take a look at the monthly time frame. So what we said was like as long as we can basically close the quarterly cycle right there, bullish, right? Right, candle looks pretty strong in terms of a rejection, but at least we could basically say, hey, we closed bullish. Okay, we did not close bearish, because it is quite important. What type of color your candle going to close and all that good stuff, right? So now, if we take a look at the current quarterly cycle right here, it is not looking good, but at least we know we got a pretty good support on a quarterly basis, right around like 30k. So dropping down to 30k, right? The first month of the quarterly time frame, right? It is quite good. Okay, it is nothing bad to basically retest support, right, as early as possible, instead of basically retesting support like let's say late March and all that good stuff. Because we know the earlier we retest support, the better it is for the macro view and all that good stuff, right? But that's just the quarterly time frame. It is not guaranteed, right? We will basically retest the 30k support, but we will take a look at it on the weekly and all that good stuff, right? So now the next time frame we're going to take a look at, it is going to be our monthly time frame. So the monthly time frame, I know most bears, right, they're going to be shouting about the MACD crossing negative and all that good stuff, but we will take a look at it, right? So now what we've been saying since basically December, after the first dump, right, December 3rd, after we bounce back up to a 50k and all that good stuff, above 50k, what we said we're going to be looking for support at the monthly 21 EMA. So if you take a look at it, right, 52 all the way down to the monthly 21, it actually dropped like nearly 40%. Okay, since like we said we most likely going to be dumping all the way down to the monthly 21. So it dumped below the monthly 21 and got a nice support at the weekly 100 EMA. Even though we wick down to the 33k on a weekly basis, we will take a look at it. It did not close below the weekly 100 EMA. So it is quite important when we take a look at the weekly 100 EMA and all that good stuff. So on a monthly basis, even though it is bearish, right, we at a macro support. And the monthly time frame, it is one of the most important cycle to pay attention to. Okay, why? Because if I'm going to be bullish on BTC for the next like a few years and so on, the best time to buy, right, in general, right, it is going to be at or below the monthly 21. So buying at the monthly 21 EMA, it is nothing bad for me to be basically be looking to accumulate at the monthly 21 EMA. And if we drop lower to the 30k support, it is going to be even a better reaccumulation phase and all that good stuff. Okay, so if we take a look at the MACD right here, yes, it crossed negative, but one thing we got to remember, if you've been following if you've been following our channel back in May, what we said right here, we've been following what our 3 weeks time frame. Okay, we said, okay, we bearish on our 3 weeks time frame. However, price action is still above our 21 EMA, so we couldn't basically close below our 3 weeks 21 EMA, so we stayed bullish. So if we go back to the monthly time frame, we don't know. Okay, we don't know if over the next like a few months, even though the quarterly support is at 30k, it is not guaranteed, right? We will basically close a monthly candle below 30k. If you take a look at it right here, between May, June, July, we did not close below 34k, and we just got a nice support at 33. Even though we can't dump. Okay, I'm not saying we cannot retrace down to 30k. That's not the that's not the point. But all we're saying is like, if price action on a lower degree, let's say 3D time frame, weekly time frame and all that good stuff. We will take a look at all those time frames. Okay, they dump down to 30K, but the monthly remain bullish by closing above the monthly 21 EMA. It could be crucial. Okay, it could be crucial going into a Q2 and all that good stuff. So keep an eye on the quarterly time frame. How we going to be closing the monthly the next couple of months, and how we basically going to be closing basically the overall quarterly time frame. Okay, so it is going to be very, very important to pay attention to the quarterly time frame. It is not a short-term analysis. I'm not saying like we're going to pump and dump and all that good stuff. It is a macro analysis, so we have to basically pay attention to the monthly and quarterly. Okay, even before we talk about the weekly time frame and all that good stuff. If we take a look at the 3 weeks time frame, the 3 weeks time frame, it is quite bearish now. Okay, we can't deny we got a bearish divergence right here, and price action, if you take a look at it right there, made a high, right? And MACD refused to basically push to the upside and now give us a negative crossover right here. So it is not a good sign. So on the 3 weeks basis, right, if we're looking for a resistance to the upside, since we got a negative momentum, our 21 EMA on the 3 weeks basis going to be 41.8, give or take. Okay, 41 to 42K area going to be the resistance level in the short to medium term. Okay, so let's keep an eye on the three weeks time frame, right around 41.8, and support level on the 3 weeks time frame going to coincide with our quarterly support at 305 on average. Yes, it can drop down to like a 28 and all that good stuff, but all I'm saying is like 31.5, right, down to like a 29.5 going to be the second reaccumulation phase. It is hard to tell if BTC going to pump all the way up to 41, right? We can't tell on the 3 weeks basis. We will need to take a look at the weekly 3D and all that good stuff, right? But if for whatever reason we get a nice pump, okay, out of nowhere, definitely it is going to be a level to take some profits if bulls if you've been buying the dips, right around the weekly 100 EMA, and all that good stuff, or even lower. Okay, because if you've been following the channel, we said monthly 21, weekly 21 going to be the first support. Okay, so now we hit support and getting a nice bounce, but the bounce is weak, right? It is not strong enough, so we can definitely retest the 305 on average over the next like a few weeks, unless we get a strong buy volume and everything basically changes, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a weekly basis. So if we take a look at BTC on a weekly basis, weekly basis is looking pretty nice. Okay, why the weekly time frame looks pretty nice, even though quarterly, monthly, 3 weeks time frame all looking pretty bearish. Okay, I know you're going to tell me, oh, some of these traders, they're saying like we below the weekly 21 EMA, so we bearish. According to those traders, yes, they bearish. Okay, however, if we take a look at the weekly 100 EMA right here, right, it is a very important key element to pay attention to. If we go back to if we go back to, let's say we go back to right here, right there. So if we go back to on Binance, okay, back in 2019, when we got that 40% pump, I was saying exactly right here, the weekly 100 EMA could give us what, a tough time. If you take a look at it right here, you can see it on Binance, but if you take a look at it on Bitstamp, right, on Bitstamp right there, okay, we got the same weekly 100 EMA, right? So it means like we got to pay attention to it. I'm not saying we will pump, right, but something to basically keep in mind over the next like a few weeks. If we basically don't close below the weekly 100 EMA, open and close a candle below the weekly 100 EMA, we could still move sideways for the next like a few weeks. Once again, it doesn't mean we can't retest like a 30K. Remember, we're saying open and close a candle below the weekly 100 EMA. Okay, right there, we refuse, okay, to open open and close a candle below the weekly 100 EMA. If we go back to Binance, right there, we did not open and close a candle below the weekly 100 EMA, and we did pump like nicely, okay, nearly 40% right there. And right here on average, we pump like 50%. So not saying we will get the same type of pumping like 50%, 40% and all that good stuff. But once again, on a 3 weeks basis, we got our resistance all the way up to 41. So retesting 30K, going back to 41, it is pretty much possible because we seen it back in May, June, July when we were basically trading between 30K and 40K and all that good stuff. Okay, so now let's go back to the weekly. Just to recap the weekly time frame, right? The weekly weekly support, once again, it is going to be on average 35K, right? And the weekly resistance going to be all the way up to 44. But since we got our 3 weeks time frame resistance, right, not sure if the weekly going to be strong enough to pump all the way up to the weekly 21 EMA right here. So the most important key level to keep an eye on, okay, over the next like a few weeks, going to be 41 to 42. If we go higher, great, but just have to basically keep an eye on the 41 to 43 up to even 43K area over the next like a few weeks and so on. Okay, and now let's go ahead and take a look at our most important time frame. Okay, so our most important time frame, it is the 3D time frame. Okay, the 3D time frame, it doesn't, we're not trading the 3D time frame to say like if we're going to the moon and all that good stuff, but we're trading the 3D time frame to get the short to medium term trend. So if you guys recall back in December right here, what we said was that if we open and close a candle below the 3D 21 EMA, while our MACD right here is negative, right, we're going to basically pack our bags. Okay, and that's exactly what we did. Okay, as soon as we pump back up to 51, 52K area, what we said exactly, we're going to be dumping down to the monthly 21, or we could be dumping down to the weekly 100 EMA. So 35 to a 34K area, we called it when BTC was like above like a 51, 52K area. So now we take a look at the 3D, we're not getting any sign of a potential reversal. All right, we just have to call it what it is, right? As long as we're negative, okay, we just have to be very constant. As long as we're negative right here, right, and price action staying below, okay, not above but below the 3D 21, the 3D 21 EMA, it is our yellow line right there. The trend going to be down. I'm not saying if we're going to be in a bear market or if we're going to be dumping down to 10K and all that good stuff like the Mr. 10K bear. All I'm saying is the trend, it is going to be down. Remember, the 3D time frame doesn't call like for for a bear market or bull market. It only says, right, it only says, okay, if price action is below your 211 EMA and MACD remains negative, right, your trend going to be down. It doesn't say if you're going to dump down to like a 10K, 30K, whatever, but we just have to follow, right, our strategy right here, and it is working pretty well since like right here, even after we dumped down to like 49 right here, we said be cautious, okay, because we below our 21 EMA, MACD is negative right here, and you can see what happened. Okay, we dumped nearly over 30% and all that good stuff, right? So now just to recap the 3D 21 and the 3D MACD, the trend, it is down. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on the 6-hour basis. So now the 6-hour basis, what I said over the last few days was like, if we get our MACD to cross positive right here, it is quite important, guys. Make sure to remember exactly where your 21 EMA on your 6-hour is. Okay, what we said was like, if we get our MACD to cross positive right here, what we're gonna get? We're gonna get a low volatility to the downside, meaning like price action will try to go back to the 21 EMA on our MACD, right? And the volatility could be low. It means that we could even be in this range of 33 to a 36, 37K area till we basically find another pattern. But as of now, just by pushing back up like that, we don't have any pattern. The only pattern we got is like a bearish pattern. We've seen it right here, right? If you guys recall right there, we called this move. Okay, we said we're gonna dump and we're gonna push back up. All right, even if we push back up to the 100 EMA on hourly basis, it is going to get rejected. Okay, and that's exactly what we did right here. We basically moved sideways, consolidated before the next dump. So you just have to be cautious, even though we pump like nicely a nice 15% pump. It is just a consolidation pump. It is not a reversal pump as of now. Yes, it could be a reversal pump once we basically move sideways, and basically once we move sideways and get a nice support right here, right? Do something like that. It could be what, the bottom. But as of now, just pumping 15% from the from the low 30k, low 33k doesn't mean like a we're going to the moon, right? Doesn't mean like we're going to the moon. Remember, it is the 6 hour time frame. It is not the 3D time frame. It is not the weekly time frame. So it moves pretty fast. So we just have to be very, very cautious regarding how we want to call these bottoms and all that good stuff. And remember, we're not in this market to call the bottoms and tops. We just want to follow the trend. The monthly time frame is down. The weekly time frame is down. The 3 weeks time frame is down, right? The 3D time frame is down. So we don't want to basically just jump in and say, oops, we pumped 10%, we're going to the moon. That's the best way to get wrecked. Okay, that's the best way to get wrecked. If you take a look at BTC on on the higher time frame, okay, we've been down like since November 11, and it is over 75 days, right? It is over 75 days since we've been down, okay? Right there, 77 days. So should we basically just say, okay, we pumped 10%, the bottom is in, right? We're going to the moon. That's not the best way to look at the market. So we could be in this range. Once again, we could be in this range for like, for the next few weeks. I'm not saying if BTC going to stay in this range forever, or if we're going to be pumping next week and all that good stuff. Not trying to time the market, but just saying like this range of 33 all the way down to 30k going to be a very, very important key level to keep an eye on. And the 41 up to 43k area going to be the short-term resistance till we find a proper bullish reversal pattern on a 3D basis by getting our MACD to flip positive. As long as our MACD is negative, guys, it is going to be pretty tough to go to the moon. Okay, we just have to remember that. Once you remember like your MACD is negative, right? You're just going to basically remain very calm, okay? Not basically jumping and humping and all that good stuff, right? If you take a look at it right here, we said it back in July after we got our MACD to flip positive. We said, guys, pack your bags. We're going to the moon, right? Right here, we said, pack your bags. We're gonna dump, okay? So you got everything you need to know, right, to basically be ready for the next uptrend and reaccumulate on the downside and all that good stuff if we retest like a 30k and all that good stuff, right? So that's all I wanted to cover, guys. So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join the public Telegram group, link in the description. You can also join the Discord public group, link in the description. All right, guys, let me know which alt you want me to cover next time, right? If you want me to cover any other alt with the BTC analysis, right?